Aloha, this is Wahkeena Sitka, and I am going to share with you my first super exciting, super profound, otherworldly, visionary story. Oh my god, it's happening. The first story is about to be told. I've been actually really trying to feel into what is the most appropriate and the most important story to share first. And because I have quite a few. They're all pretty amazing. But there is one story out of all my visionary experiences that feels to me to be the most important to share. If I'm going to share one psychedelic, visionary, shamanic story with the planet, it's going to be my experience with peyote. I've only done peyote once. I was in Costa Rica in March of 2004. I looked very different. I was a bit more of a short-haired, kind of nomadic, gypsy, ragamuffin, hippie chick at that point. And I went down to Costa Rica for the World Rainbow Gathering. I was there at the World Rainbow Gathering for 2 weeks. And I was in Costa Rica for a total of 1 month. That was my actually very first time that I ever even left the United States. Well, like went to another culture, went to Latin America. And it was pretty mind-blowing, and the whole experience was, huge and transformational. And the entire time that I was at the Rainbow Gathering, I would say I was there for 2 weeks straight, and pretty much that entire 2 weeks was a major visionary experience. I was having mind-blowing, otherworldly, multi-dimensional, transformational, ecstatic experiences like every other day. The kind of experiences that if you had one of those, you would be like, I'm enlightened and I've experienced God and I'm like holy man sort of experience. I was having them like every other single day for 2 weeks straight, and was getting these major downloads, and a lot of them really had a lot to do with the power and magic and medicine of the earth. And I was really feeling deeply connected to the earth and to earth wisdom and to the Native American and indigenous energies of that land. But there was this one day, I had been getting to know this guy. I can't remember his name because it's been so long. I've been getting to know this guy over the course of the 2 weeks at the Rainbow Gathering, who he'd been hanging out, and he'd become a friend. And every single night at the Rainbow Gathering, there was a dinner circle in which everybody gathered in a big circle and put out their plates and was served food. And that night, it was getting dark. After the dinner circle, he came up to me and he was like, hey, do you want to do peyote tonight with me? And I was just like, whoa. I should add, this was a special night because it was a new moon, and I believe it was really close to the equinox. It may have even been the equinox. I can't remember exactly. And meaning a whole bunch of people at the Rainbow Gathering, were going to do this huge Mayan calendar embodiment, and there's going to be this like all-night chanting and music ceremony around the main fire, and there was going to be a huge celebration around the main fire the next day. It was huge. It was this like it was the meltdown at the Rainbow Gathering. It was big. So that night, I'm sitting in a dinner circle. He comes up to me and offers me peyote, and at that time, I was very inclined towards taking psychedelics like whenever. It was like, you got mushrooms? I'll take them. I was like taking mushrooms all the time at that period of time. I mean, I was just full blown, and loving it. And so of course I was like, hell yes, let's do peyote. I was like super excited, totally fearless. Beginner's mind was ecstatic. Right? So here we go. I'm sitting at the dinner circle. Hal pulls these like, you know, poop brown colored beads, because the peyote had been compressed into beads so that holes had been drilled through, so he had a necklace of peyote beads, and he gave me like 4 of them. And I definitely swallowed 3. I think one of the 4 I choked down, hardly was able to get down my throat because it tasted so horrible. It tasted like I was swallowing poop. It was just disgusting. And super, super bitter. And I, you know, didn't think much of it. And it was getting late. It was probably around like 8 or 9 or 10, something like that, in the evening when the experience began. And not long after I took the peyote, I went to the main fire circle, because there was this whole crowd of people that was singing and chanting and dancing around the fire. People were singing all of these like deep hippie songs and getting really tribal. And I was singing deep hippie songs with them and getting all tribal and everything. And then it began. And when it began, it was really different, because up to that point I'd already done DMT, mushrooms, acid, a number of things. So I had this idea or this sense or comfortability with psychedelics and like the kind of energy and the shift in consciousness that would come on. But the peyote experience was rather different. It was unique because it came on more gradually, a little bit more slowly, and the color scheme was different. The first thing I noticed was that all of the colors and imagery, for the most part, were very earth tones, colorful earth tones, rainbow colored earth tones, but it was all like muted earth tones. And it was also very imbued with this like gentle like Native American, Southwest Native American textile look. You know, those like Hopi or Navajo like blankets or pottery or weavings or something like that, baskets, that kind of like indigenous like knotwork and stuff. Basically everything that I was experiencing looked like that. Everything, and it was all just kind of like ching, 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 moving along in this like really slow, rhythmic, sort of like interesting way. The first thing I experienced, though, was I had this huge vision of everything just turning into insects. Everything was just insects, like centipedes and ants and just grubs, maggots and everything, and it was all colorful, cartoon-like, and it was all just kind of like, you know, moving around like this like puzzle piece, like Tetris or something, but it was psychedelic, and I was like breathing it and living it. And meanwhile there's these people singing and chanting and everything, and I'm looking at the whole thing going, this is very interesting. It was not what I was expecting. So I saw my friend off in the distance who had given me the peyote, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go over to him. So I walked over to him, and we're just like, how's it going, you know, da 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 da, just chat with him for a minute, and then I look over to my right, off, you know, 50 feet away in the distance. there's what looks like an elephant. It was a tree, but my mind interpreted it as an elephant because that's what it looked like when I was on the peyote. And so I walked over to the elephant tree and I squatted down on the ground because I had to pee, and I began peeing underneath the elephant tree. As I'm peeing, I immediately start to feel the presence of 3 animal totem spirits. I'm not exactly sure what animals they were. I just remember it being 3 animals. And right at the moment that I felt their presence, as I finished peeing, all of a sudden I went into another dimension. And in the next dimension, I had a vision of this huge shrine room with the spirit of peyote. It was like an altar, huge, massive, ginormous altar, and it was all dedicated to Grandmother Peyote. And there was this huge blanket with all of these gifts and offerings laid out all over the blanket. Probably hundreds or thousands of offerings had been given to the peyote. And I looked at all the offerings, and I looked at this huge Grandmother Peyote. She looked like a regal queen. I looked at her and I looked at the shrine and was just like, I didn't even know what to offer. I just felt so humbled and so in awe and in shock at the power and the majesty of the peyote spirit. So I just felt really humbled, and I was like, what can I offer? And the only thing I felt that I could offer was my voice. So I began to sing. I began to chant as best as I could, and almost immediately I was taken on board what I can only describe as a celestial subway system made of light. That's what it looked like. That's what it felt like. I felt like I got on board a subway train, except I was surrounded by light beings. There was no bodies, but there was consciousness. There was energy. There was intelligence. And it was like I got on board and the door closed, and I was basically told right then and there that what I was going to experience for the rest of the journey was, quote, a sneak preview of what is coming to a planet near you, meaning I was going to be shown and I was going to experience on a visceral, energetic level what is coming to planet Earth, as in like next year, 2012, 2013. Before we even get into the whole 2012, 2000 beyond shift stuff, I just want to say that the download I got from the consciousness on board that subway system made of light was that there is an intergalactic public transportation system that circulates around the galaxy. And it moves in a regular rhythmic pattern, rather regular rhythmic path, the same way that you can always depend upon, you know, showing up at 3:15 and the bus is going to show up right then, and you know that the bus is going to be on schedule. It's on a route. It's on a circle. And basically what I was being told is that there is a public transportation system coming to Earth really soon. Like, really soon. It hasn't fully arrived yet as of November of 2011. It has not fully arrived yet, but it is really imminent. And basically I was told that this public transportation system of the stars is coming to a planet near us, aka planet Earth, and that every single living being on the planet is invited on board. Everything, including plants, including all animals, including the Earth herself, and every single human on the planet is allowed and invited to get on board. Now, the thing is that it was explained to me that not every human is going to get on board because of fear. Before I even get into that whole thing, I just need to say that they basically explained to me the angels, because I was basically surrounded by angels. The angels basically said to me, what you need to learn in order to get on board the intergalactic cosmic shuttle on coming to planet Earth, you need to learn how to work with your energy body. You need to be able to learn how to access your internal light body. You also need to be able to connect to planet Earth. You need to be able to work with your ability to say yes, to open, to receive, and you also need to really start attuning yourself to the new vibrations that are emanating from planet Earth. If you start attuning and vibrating, resonating with planet Earth, then you will be able to be sensitive enough to match the vibrational frequency with the shift in energy that's coming onto the planet. So really, doing internal energy work, clearing, for me, that's really like the core, most important work to be doing right now. I don't care what kind of internal energy work it is. If it's doing Reiki, hallelujah. If it's doing massage, if it's doing Qigong, yoga, Tai Chi, martial arts, some form of creativity, painting, anything that is moving creative life force energy through your body, that tool, those tools, if used appropriately and intelligently, they can help you access divinity and the divine energy that connects you from the earth to the celestial point of origin. And that's really the goal. You really want to open up that gateway. And that's what I've been working on. I've been working on that alignment, that inner alignment, every single day since then. That's basically what my life has become devoted to. So basically, the vibrational energy on the planet is shifting. It's transforming. The earth is going to be rebirthed so that heaven can be reborn on planet Earth. Heaven existed on planet Earth, and times changed, and, quote, the dark side of the Force took over the planet for like a long time. Thus we have evil people that are ruling the corporate elite, that are running the banking systems, that are running the whole planet, that are basically on top of and control of everything. Da-da-da-da-da. So, watch Thrive. But in my opinion, and what I have received from my guidance, is that the work that we need to be working on is activating our light body and allowing ourselves to say yes to life. Say yes to life. Just say yes to life. That's all you have to do. That's basically it. Now, to finish the story of the peyote journey, I was given this whole download about all of this stuff. It was just like filtering through me, and I got the whole thing, and I was like, okay, well, that's big. That's a huge amount of information. And how am I supposed to share this with humanity? How am I supposed to share with humanity that, you know, this cosmic public transportation system is coming to the planet, and that we are all invited to get on board, and that we are all invited to rise up to a new, higher, more joyful, more enlivened, more vibrant, more ecstatic life. That the playing field is getting up-leveled, and we are all invited to get on board. How am I supposed to share that? Well, look at this website. Look at everything that I'm offering. That's my best attempt at this point. I am trying to share it via songs. I'm trying to share it via this website. I'm trying to share it via this video. Everybody has their own way of expressing and sharing and embodying that deeper intention and that deeper transformational message. At the end of the journey, basically, I was given this gift of connecting with the Hunab Ku, which became clear to me that the Hunab Ku is the key to ascension. And when I woke up out of the dream the next day, well, my life is never the same since then. So I thank you for listening to this story. I'm going to be sharing a whole bunch of more psychedelic visionary stories and galactic downloads starting now. Stay tuned to my channel, and please subscribe. Please join me on Facebook. Please sign up for the newsletter. I'm going to be like just giving you like a whole bunch of songs and MP3s and just downloads like crazy. Just join, sign, subscribe, stay in contact, and connect to your heart wisdom.